Good morning or evening or afternoon or whatever time it is that when you're watching this YouTube video. For me, it's very early morning. So good morning, YouTube. We are back with yet another Patreon video. It is the third week of the month, so you know what time it is. If you're new to the channel, hi, welcome. What brought you here? How did you find me? You're freaking me out. Anyways. It's the third week of the month, so if you're new to the channel, every third week of the month I reveal the Patreon rewards, so you guys have a little bit of time to join if you have any interest in the theme or you vibe with the illustrations or what have you. So let me introduce you to the month of August. Every single month for Patreon this year, I have dedicated a different day. No, I haven't. A different month to an animal of the Chinese zodiac, because there's 12 of them and there's 12 months. And I was watching Fruits Basket in December and I was like, that's perfect. But I've always had an interest in astrology in general. I didn't want to do a zodiac series, the traditional one, you know, like the star signs. One, because people tend to get actually very intense if you don't represent them correctly. And also, I'm a Wonder just did one that was fantastic. I'm not even gonna touch on her. I can't do that. Her art is gorgeous. If you've ever seen Emma Wonder's work, what are you even doing here? We'll finish this video first and then go check her out, because her work is actually literally stellar. It's amazing. So I was like, I don't want to do that. Literally immediately after one of my faves just did her own series. So I'm gonna do the Chinese zodiac again, because I was watching Fruits Basket and it was perfect. That was a sign. And therefore, I started with the year of the snake, because it's the year of the snake, and we've been wrapping around the zodiac so far. August lands on the year of the rat. I said that for the rat I would be slipping in the cat. Maybe. I didn't. How many times am I going to say it this series? I'm so sorry, Kyo. I'm so sorry, Kyo. I did you dirty. My bad, brother. It didn't happen. We just did a roar. Anyways, so for each animal that we get in the series, I like to have a few things to make them tie together, because as I was representing them, I started representing them a few different ways, and I realized by February, or was it March, I was like, I did February and January so differently, but there were a few elements that I retained, so I'm gonna hone in on those and continue to include them in the series, so that I can make sure that even though I'm representing the animals differently, even though the character in general might look a bit different, I can still have these look like they're part of the same series. So what am I gonna do for those? I have a little square background, a gradient piece, and then a monthly flower for each one. So they all have this. What? Hold on. Wait, did I forget? Hold up. Wait a minute. Where? Hold on. I'm realizing something in real time. You guys are finding something out. Okay, I remembered it. Oh my god, I almost had a mini heart attack because I remembered July's print, and I was like, did I forget the square? I didn't. I remembered the border. Thank God. I actually would have tweaked. So anyway, I like to include those, again, so they look like they're part of the same series. But then something else I like to do is I like to go a little deeper to help me get some inspiration for how to interpret each character. So I do that by looking at traits associated with the sign, including the element of the sign, lucky colors, and things like that. So for the month of August, for traits, we have stubborn, adaptable, and observant, and particularly for wood rats, which it is a wood year, 2025, even though, you know, it's not, again, it's not the year of the rat, but if it were to be the year of the rat, this would be a wood rat. Those specific traits are outgoing and resourceful, supposedly. I kept seeing those for traits in general, so maybe for a wood rat, it's those two in particular are heightened. for wood rats. I don't know. This was the first time I saw traits for an element of a sign that were the exact same as the elements that I kept seeing. I purposely didn't include those in the initial traits because I saw that they were in wood rat's traits, but everything else also listed those two as traits of a rat. So maybe just those two are particularly sharp in a wood rat. I don't know. Usually it is something like additional. It's something that like isn't mentioned in other traits. It's like, here's the list of traits, and then, you know, like for a wood snake, they're also silly. That's not true, but you know, it'd be something like that. It would be like a list of traits and then an entirely separate one. So that was interesting to me. The lucky colors for this month are interesting. I will get into that more in depth when we talk about the actual speed paint that you guys are looking at. But for now, here's the colors. We have blue, gold, green, and then for unlucky, we have yellow and brown. For a second, I was scared. I was like, what do you mean brown? I wanted to do a little white and brown ratty. That would have been so cute. They're adorable. A little brown rat. Why did you do that to me? And then yellow as well. I was like, what am I don't, okay. Panicked a little. We'll get to that in the speed paint. The monthly flower was osmanthus, and I loved these. They're such little teeny tiny flowers. I actually did the initial sketch on stream. Again, we'll get into that, but it was really, really fun to do. I also have predictions, but you can check that on the Patreon. I'm sure if you're a rat, you've already checked your horoscope for the year, so you know what you're looking at, you know what you're vibing with. Now let us get into the speed paint. So first I want to talk about the initial sketch. You guys might not have seen for very long. I actually ended up streaming me working on this piece, which I didn't intend to do, actually. I normally don't do Patreon stuff outside of Patreon unless it's like people's customs, like commissions and such. But just for some reason I felt like streaming it this particular day, so I was coming up with ideas and things like that. And I know they tell you, do not fall in love with your initial thumbnail because you might come up with a better idea, but I was obsessed with her. Okay, I really, really liked this idea. When I first saw the colors, I was panicking. I was like, green and blue and a rat, okay. And then I was like, wait. Secret third option, gold for a rat, like a little goldish blonde. And then I was like, ooh, what if I did a little cutesy little curly rat? And then I was thinking, okay, what's the type of people that like to keep rats? Lots of types of people like to keep rats, but the goth girlies love a rat. The goth girlies love a rat. And also, something that I don't keep on like the traits page is occasionally if I'm having trouble, like, you know, trying to put together a character or a vibe for the type of person that's on there, or a type of person that might fall into this sign, I look into like aesthetics and careers that they might have, because there are careers associated with the signs. And I was getting like artsy and things like that, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm leaning towards goth. But goth is gonna be lots of, like, to me, lots of black, lots of, you know, monotone, very deep, dark colors. And my colors were blue and green and gold. And then as I was working on the initial sketch, I was like, forget it. I'm just gonna do a goth chick and we're gonna see where it goes. I did some like blue makeup on it, kind of like a la Ergo Proxy, which I've never seen. Ergo Evanescence, which I have seen. I'm quite familiar with Miss Amy Lee. Okay, I grew up listening to Evanescence. I was obsessed with it. I was a very, very, very emo child. Like, I begged to wear black lipstick to middle school. So it was a process. It was a process. Anyways, I started doing it, and then I was like, blue and green. Well, no one said the blue and green has to be bright pastel like I swatched them. It's just any shade of blue and green. You know what makes blue and green when it gets dark? Teal. One of my favorite colors in the entire world. I love teal. So then I ran with teal. And then I did little elements, like spots of like primary blue and then a little bit of pastel blue for the makeup, because again, I really liked the idea of doing like a trad goth sort of look, but with like blue, blushing and things like that. And then little elements here and there that were like gray, like sharper bits, because a lot of trad goth does have really crispy elements. If I'm honest, I'm still sort of exploring the realms of what trad goth is. I've always been familiar with it. It's always been a style that I've seen and been like, wow, but it's never a style of makeup that I've like studied myself personally. I've always gone more into like people who have done like trad goth but with a spin, very graphic liners, things like that. Not that trad goth doesn't have graphic liner, but more of like the Gen Z modern trad goth, where it's like very like there's just a specific look that the contouring and stuff of trad goth has that Gen Z does a little bit, but then like switches it up, which I like. But I also really like trad goth. It's just I haven't seen as much of it as I have seen like the more modern ones, because that's what's all over my Pinterest. Anytime any alternative type person comes up, it's like some spin on trad goth. But I do think it's really cool. Hopefully I've captured its essence here. I've added a few elements, but again, it's I don't want to say it's unfamiliar to me, because it's not, but it's not something that I have done for years and years and years. It's definitely something that I have taken an interest in more recently, like specifically seeking it out. So hopefully that looks slay. Also, you will have noticed a drastic change between the initial sketch. Oh wait, you guys wouldn't have seen the initial sketch. Well, perhaps I should flash it up on screen. So you'll notice that something is different. And that is because I was scrolling through Pinterest, I was looking at references for trad goth and things like that, and I saw this hairstyle, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so pretty. Especially because when I initially drew the hair that I did, I liked it, but I really, really, really did not like the bangs. It was a very classic look, like thinking like it was inspired by like Lydia Dietz, the gelled front bangs. It was very cutesy, but I hated lining it, even in the initial sketch phase, which I don't hate the initial sketch. I do like it, but I am glad we pivoted, because I think she has so much more interest to her now visually, especially with all the texture in her hair. Not that it wouldn't have had like texture before, but it like flows down a little bit better, I think, because we have the movement of her braids and things like that, which I think really help guide your eye along the piece. But oh my god, I saw this hairstyle and I was like, I have to draw that. I have to draw that. It was so pretty. So I did, and I'm really glad that we made that shift. I also think her skin tone looks literally gorgeous with that teal, and when I put the gold foil on, because that's right, something you guys aren't going to see until the very end of this video, is me adding gold foil. I'm embellishing these prints because I went to Walmart, and for some reason Walmart has absorbed Joann's near me, and they had all of these things that they didn't used to have. They like massively expanded their freaking art department, and I saw gold flaked foil for $3, and I was like, yeah, I will be purchasing, and I will be in. Literally, I'm not even kidding. I saw these the day that I was going to be rendering this piece. So I was like, you're telling me I have gold as one of my lucky colors, which this isn't the first time. But this is the first time I've like really emphasized the gold. Normally when I get gold, quote unquote, I will treat it more like just like a warmer yellow. Nah, she's gold, okay? She's got jewelry, she's decked out. You're telling me the day that I have gold as a print and I actually treat it as gold, I found foil that is gold, that is $3? I don't know if this is gonna work. You guys are going to find out at the end with me. I have no idea. I haven't printed one out to test it yet, but I'm very excited. you guys will see here shortly. Maybe I've already started doing it. I don't know, because I'm watching the real-time speed paint right now, and I'm nowhere near there. She will have lots of jewelry, and I intend to put gold foil on that, gold foil in her hair, maybe a little bit on, you know, the osmanthus flowers in the center. I have no idea. I also was really lazy painting the flowers this month. Normally, I try to put some detail in the petals and stuff like that, but there was just something about the initial sketch, the way that they were like haphazardly painted in, that made them feel like fake flowers almost intentionally, like she was styling her hair with them. And I thought it was really cute, so I didn't want to add too much detail, especially because they are such a tiny flower. They're very, very small little 5-petal flowers, so I didn't want to do that and take away from the rest of the illustration by making it look too busy. I kind of just wanted it to look like she shoved a bunch of fake flowers in her hair, because I'd do that too. So I thought it looked really pretty, and I left them very simple. I also, because I felt bad that I made them so simple, thought that it would be cool if I did like a little bit of graphic liner situation and then had her draw on an osmanthus on her cheek or something like that. Maybe they're her favorite flower, I don't know. I thought it was adorable, and therefore I did it. The rat, I struggled with. He's very cute. I am happy with how he turned out. I changed his pose 1,700 million times, and also rendering his curls was difficult for me, because they have such a specific like wave pattern that I did not know how to do, and especially did not know how to do with the angle that it was at, and also his ears are like huge. Maybe he's giving mouse now that he's got big ears, but he's adorable. He's adorable, and he's baby, and I love him, and I hope you guys love him, because he is the sticker this month as well. And he's a cutie patootie. I don't know what to say. He's baby. I really struggled rendering his curls though. So you guys better like him. You guys better like him, because he's a baby, and it made me pull my hair out. I was stressed trying to get him rendered. The portrait though, she's banging. I have no notes on her. I love how she turned out. I not a thing that I disliked about this illustration by the time that it was finished, at least for her. Again, the raw, I was not so sure about. I was like, I don't know if it's like interacting with her enough, which by the way, I know this looks insane if you weren't with me on the live stream. The inspo was a picture on Pinterest. I saw a girl with a butterfly over her eyeball, and I was like, that's so cute and like moody and artsy. But what if the butterfly was a raw? And I did it. So hopefully you guys like this piece. If you do and you want to get it in the mail, you have until August 30th to join the Patreon. That's right, August 30th. That's patreon.com/eddiescribs, as you can see in the corner. Because look, I made new overlays. If you are new to this channel, she doesn't normally look like this. I was in a daze on Wednesday, and I made these for no reason. For no reason. They weren't on my schedule. I didn't have to do this. I just was like, okay. And then I did. I completely zoned in and made one for 4x3. Oh my god. Sorry, Treacle Tats. I did not mean to do that. I zoned in. I made one for 4x3 and I made one for 16x9. So both versions of my videos will stay consistent and look very slay and look very awesome. It has my little tag, it has my little logo, it has like MS Paint tools for you little early 2000s babies out there. I thought it was really cutesy. I like her a lot. So it's patreon.com/eddiescribs. If you join the matcha or chamomile tier, those are my physical tiers. You will get something shipped to you every single month. I harp on chamomile in particular, especially now that I've been raising my prices for my commissions. I have not raised my prices for the Patreon slot. It's only $30 a month, and you get everything that you get in the matcha mail tier plus a monthly custom. That's not fair. Are you serious? My customs are $50 normally for just the illustration, plus you get a physical, whether that's a print, sticker, button, magnet, whatever you want, that I have the physical capability of making here in my house. Literally any kind of physical that I listed off. So you get that plus your digital version of your illustration, plus everything that comes in the Matcha Mail tier. It's very slay, and it is only $30 a month, and I only have a few slots left. I think I have 5 more, maybe 6. So if you want to jump on there, jump on there. I would highly recommend it. If you don't care about getting these in the mail, or you don't think you can join this month, but you really like this piece, Taro tier has these available as digital downloads. You will be able to receive those a year round whenever you join. They just won't come to you in the mail, so you're gonna have to print it on your own. So that's your fault. But if you like it, slay, feel free to join. If you want to see all the other months and get those as digital downloads because you missed them, Taro tier is there for you. I have all of the previous rewards uploaded on there as well, or at least I hope I do. If you join Taro and you're like, hey, where's February? Message me and I'll put it up, because I'm silly and I'm very forgetful. So if you want those, tell me. All my other tiers are slay as well. They just have nothing to do with these. So you're welcome to check them out. I have like a podcast. I have discounts on my shop and on my commissions and things like that for other tiers. There's a Discord server that I don't know how to use. So if you want to check that out, it's there. It's available. Go do that. It's funsies. Slay. That is pretty much it for this video, you guys. A huge shout out to my patrons who are already my patrons, who make videos like this possible. I love you guys so much. I appreciate every single one of you so dearly. You guys are amazing. I cherish you. You're awesome. Thank you so much. A huge shout out as well to the people who are still watching this video 21 minutes in when I'm talking about nothing. What are you still doing here? Have you subscribed yet? You should do that. Okay, that is it for this video, you guys. I love you all so much, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.